Top of the morning to you. Welcome to week 2 of this interesting streaming journey that I've put myself on. Today we're going to be doing more AMS2. This game is probably my, I would say, personal favorite of the more recent Sims. I haven't dove much into the original Assetto Corsa, which is quite popular. ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione, I've spent a good amount of time on that one. Mostly, I don't really like the racing in it. I like it for like time trials and just overall sim experience. Feels pretty good. It's the soundstage, I think, is the best one, hands down. But as far as from a racing standpoint, and just at the end of the day, you always have to find that blend between simulator and fun. It's very easy to get into something that, like, for example, this is where ACC, I think, is a far better simulator than AMS2. But from a pure fun standpoint, like where I get in this thing and have a good time, my experience is overall better in AMS2. So that's why I've been kind of grinding on that, because like I said, in the title, you'll see Project Motor Racing Prep. I don't know if Project Motor Racing is going to be good. It's got a lot of hype behind it. It's got me looking forward to it. But I will be diving into that game on day one, and hopefully it is in a good enough working state on day one to be able to play it and enjoy it. I'm hoping it's not a buggy disaster of a mess. Rensport just, I believe, released today. I could be wrong. I know all the reviews went up today, and it looks disastrous, in my opinion. I played it on PC before the most recent updates, and I tried it twice. Free-to-play game that I couldn't get into, even when it was free. Too many problems. You know, I don't consider myself too picky, but stuff needs to at least work. Ugh. Oh no, Lewis finally got a rig. He scored. He scored an FGT, Next Level Racing FGT rig with a G923 attached to it for $100 off Facebook Marketplace. I want to say that's a $500 rig, and the wheel, even though he bought all my Logitech Pro stuff, he won't be using that wheel. I think he's going to be giving that to his brother. That's a score in itself. Let me see if I can find the listing for the FGT. Let's see. Next Level Racing FGT. Where is it? Still looking for it here. That's bright. Hey, that's mine on the front page. Look at that. Oh, nice. So this is mine, if anybody's wondering. FGT Pro. Where is the FGT? So it's this rig, but with the seat. Here we go. Yeah. The man scored this with a literal G923 and pedals attached to it for $100. $100. I avoid buying used products, and I stay off of Facebook Marketplace, but every once in a while something like that comes along and I'm just like, man, I'd buy that, I'd flip it, sell it to a friend, give it to a friend, whatever. I mean, that's one of those deals that when you see it, you buy it immediately and then figure out what to do with it later. Good for you, sir. Good for you, sir. I guess we'll boot up AMS, get that going. How's the stream looking and sounding, folks? Don't forget, hit that like button. And if you're into this stuff and want to frequently, I would say subscribe, but I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. One thing that always pains me when I watch YouTube videos is I understand why it's done, because you kind of have to tell people to subscribe. But, you know, it gets a little tedious. That's why I like that Gamer Muscle guy where he says, subscribe so you can unsubscribe later when you disagree. It's a really good... It got me to subscribe. It works. Let's see. A very good deal. Yep, you're right. Fine here. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, sir. And yeah, killer deal. I'm very jealous. It's like I said, it's not even one of those things where I would use it or need it, but you see a deal like that, you jump on it, you take it, and then you figure out what to do with it later. You either upsell it for, hell, you could sell it for $300 and make $200. He could sell just the G923 and make $100 after the cost of the rig, and then have his free rig plus $100 and for his Logitech Pro stuff to go on it. Lucky SOB, that's what I say. Let's see. I want to start off on the warm-up side today, so we're going to lower the difficulty. This is a fun car, I'll say that. I don't know what I want to do for a track, though. I do have to do some practicing. Do some Interlagos. And I really gotta, as much as I want to turn the racing line on, not so much for the line, but for the braking zone, because there's a lot of tracks that I don't know. So I know the Nordschleife really well, at least by memory, so I'm not saying I'm the fastest at it, but I know it at least when to brake and those types of things. I know, I'd say about 5 tracks in total where I don't need any level of braking zone. But as far as a lot of the other tracks, I'm I usually have to figure it out based off of the cars in front of me braking, or I put the line on to give me the braking, or the corners only line anyway, to kind of give me an idea of the braking zone. But I find that while the learning curve is a lot more aggressive without the line, it's quicker to learn it that way. You remember it better. Gotta find places to put my coffee, because the haptics will vibrate it right off my rig. Speaking of, I actually have to go turn those on, so hold on one sec. Oh. I haven't dabbled too much in the time trials yet. That'll be one of the things that, when I spend more time with the game, I'll give those a shot. But for now, I pretty much just stick to the quick races and the test sessions. I am looking forward to career mode if it comes out this year. They said it's supposed to come out in 2026. We'll see. Who actually knows about that, but... My biggest thing is giving Project Motor Racing a chance first, because, I mean, all roads at the end always point to good old iRacing, but I want to try and stay away from iRacing as long as possible, because I tend to grind one game at a time really, really, really aggressively. So I know once I get into iRacing, I'm probably not going to have the mental time for all of the other sims. And the biggest thing is I want to, I don't want to say inclusive, but I want a game that includes easy access to get to. So like Project Motor Racing being on consoles and all that stuff has the potential to fill a void that there is currently in sim racing. Prepare for race start. Okay, I will. Sneak right in here. Also, what are your thoughts on NASCAR 25? I kind of have been considering getting it for PC just to try it. Obviously, I'm going to wait till it comes out tomorrow on PC. I want to wait till after some of the reviews come out for it because I did get it on PS5 originally just because I was like, yeah, I could use a NASCAR game to play with some friends. And that was one of the few games I've ever gotten that I was able to get a refund from Sony. It was so bad. Sorry, buddy. Never play NASCAR games? Yeah, I mean, you only turn left. NASCAR games have the potential to be really fun. You're not doing a whole lot of, like, you know, obviously circuit race, or I mean, you are doing circuit racing, but you're not doing the left-right, aggressive kind of sort of battling. It's more, you know, drafting, bump drafting, knowing when to pass, stuff like that. There's a lot to it, but it has the potential to be fun if they do it right. And so far, they just never do it right. It's such a simple form of racing that, I don't know. And they branded iRacing all over it like that was a brag. But at the same time, I can't imagine iRacing actually having anything to do with NASCAR 25. It was so unpolished. Gonna do some laps here to learn this track. I got 5 of them. Might as well learn it a little bit. Interlagos is a pretty popular track, and I don't know enough about it. Raced on it multiple times, but I've never raced with it without any kind of braking zone, so I don't really know it offhand. You know what? For the sake of trying to learn, let me, where is it? Racing line, cornering, save. Let's see, I tried the mod from RSS for AC and was bored for 5 laps and never touched again. Nice, nice. This is why I don't like the line. I don't want to brake there. That's way too early of a braking zone. Why would I even do anything right there? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think the braking zone line in AMS is very good. You wanted me to slow down and let out there for what? For what? That was a little late on my end. But, like, if I had stopped when it said to stop, I would have had to re-accelerate back into the corner again. Well, I am considering trying, you know, turn left simulator on PC. I just want to see if it's broken or not. The biggest thing is if it runs well or not. You know, I have a 5090 in my PC, and when games can't run on it, I get kind of aggravated because I have the most amount of horsepower you can possibly throw at, you know, a video game or whatever, and if it can't pull it off, I can't even imagine what everybody else's experience is like. Yeah, see, like a 5070 is a buttload of horsepower for these games. Like, for example, like if this game is on max graphics right now, with the exception of the anti-aliasing, which, I mean, I run it on the new TAA, which was, I'm happy that was finally implemented, because the other forms of TAA or other forms of anti-aliasing are archaic, and they rob you of frames and they're worse. TAA actually looks pretty decent in this game, but I get over 300 frames in this if I unlock the frame rate. Well, my panel here is 144 hertz, so because I'm doing everything from one computer, streaming, recording, obviously playing the game, I don't see the need of stressing the graphics card harder to make frames I can't see. Alright, I'm turning this line off. I got nothing for help from it. Like, at all. Oh, dear. Off. God, I do not know this track. Alright, what I am going to do is I am going to back out of this. I gotta set the AI stronger or something. I gotta at least do some racing. You know, try and learn it better. But yeah, 5070 is a boatload of graphics card. There should be no sim that, like, especially these racing sims where the graphics come out and, like, I mean, they look good, but from a overall visual standpoint compared to some other titles out there that are not sims, shouldn't need anywhere near the flagship graphics cards to run these games smoothly. I think the problem with Interlagos is I just don't like the track. It's just boring to me. I want to say Laguna Seca is going to be in it. And a lot of my friends like Laguna Seca. I'm not much of a fan, but, you know, can't avoid every track I don't like, because it's really just the Nürburgring that I like. I like the Nürburgring so much that it makes me like every other track a lot less. What's your favorite track there, Dragos? I'm saying that right. Games always start me, like, directly into a 90-degree turn. I understand, like, it goes by the front man, but, like, come on. Great start. Excellent start. Fantastic start. Yes, pass me. That's the problem with a pack of, like, really, like, kind of not so intelligent AI. When there's that many of them, you get nowhere near where you need to slow down before they're stopped dead in the road. And then you hit them like that. And I understand that's racing. Not a time trial, but still. My favorite tracks are the Nordschleife, Spa. I really like Spa. I do like Le Mans, but it only with the chicanes in it. Without, when it's like just the straight, all the. My bad, bro. I'm talking, so I'm distracted. I do like, I forgot the name of the actual track. Mount Panorama, they call it in GT7. Forgot where that's actually located. I like that track. That track's a lot of fun. It's a grind, though. In fact, I think I might try that next. I gotta remember it, though. I've never played it in this. I've only ever played it in Gran Turismo. I will say Laguna Seca feels a lot better in this than Gran Turismo, because I don't know if it's the physics difference. I don't know if it's Gran Turismo's random number generator that they have baked into the physics of that game, but the track just feels way grip. I don't know where you're going, bro. The track overall feels way grippier in this than it does in Gran Turismo. Mind you, I am using an H pattern right now, so it does distract me from the learning of braking zones and stuff like that, but that's why I like using the H pattern. If you can get somewhat decent on the H pattern, when it comes time for the formula wheel with the paddles, or this, I guess, with paddles, technically, it's a lot easier. I don't really like going in the inside too much, but against these AI, you kind of have to in this. Now, I don't know if, like I said, if it's this car or what, but this track feels a lot grippier than it normally does. This is one of those cars, too, that is a high-revving car with not a whole lot of power. So you got to grab first gear on a lot of turns that you normally can just muscle out of it with some low-end torque and some of the other cars, but I say low-end torque, like these cars all have a lot of low-end torque. None of them do, but this car especially. This car, even if you buzz first gear all the way out and you go in a second when you're supposed to, it still bogs going in a second. So, I have a clutch, but I'm not using it at the moment. Oh, fuck. I broke it. I'm not using it at the moment. I'm using the H pattern sort of like a sequential. Because these cars are technically sequential cars. And even like the H pattern stuff, a lot of it, they didn't use clutches. Some of it they did. But a lot of cars didn't use clutches even with the H pattern. They were all like dog box or pro shift transmissions. That's kind of how I'm using this one here, is I'm using the H pattern. I have a clutch, I'm just not using the clutch. I also have my clutch, which confuses a lot of people when I like put up a picture of my pedals or something like that. They're like, you know you have that backwards, right? Like, no, I had no idea. I had no idea the clutch wasn't in the middle of the brake and the gas. Yeah, I reverse my brake and my clutch because most of the times I'm using the clutch. Oh, come on. What the? It's things like that that drive me nuts about the AI. It's supposed to be better in this. Wow, that was aggressive. Back in the 18th. Awesome. All because the AI doesn't know how to let out of the throttle and just pushes you off the track. But anyway, though, I run my clutch in between my brake and my gas pedal, so it confuses people. Oh, you know what? I don't know if that's the guy that crashed me or not, but either way, he got past before the finish. I try with the map button. Oh. Reading chat. Level of difficulty 86. I believe it's at 86 or 85. It's really just more so for warming up. The difficulty is not set to challenge me. It's because I'm trying to learn tracks right now, but I want to learn them with a grid of cars. So, okay, stop flashing. We get it. The race is over. I'm probably going to have to turn that off in the software. So I have the checkered flag set to flash at the end of the last lap to let you know, hey, it's over. But, like, it just doesn't stop. It will eventually. I guess I could lower the brightness of it. And yes, that was a very unsafe rejoin. Obviously, if that was online or against real people, I wouldn't run back out into traffic like that. But when it comes to the AI, I can be very spiteful, and I can get to actually, you know, fulfill my fantasies with my spite and just drive back out into them. Like this, for example. It's a cooldown lap. I don't care. Get out of my way, bro. I got places to go. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, first time. Excuse me. My bad. Pardon me. First time again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not used to these Ferraris. This light is still flashing. Alright. After I pit, I'm turning that off. I'm good. Alright. Let me turn that shit off. Stuff is distracting. Where is it? Still flashing. Checkered. Goodbye. Save. Confirm. In fact, I'm just going to delete you since I'm just not going to use that. Save. That's one of those, like, try and take advantage of, like, a somewhat cool telemetry feature, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, when it's more annoying than the time, it spends more time being annoying than cool, you know. So I got my Alcantara wheel coming today. I know most people don't like Alcantara wheels. I am on the opposite side of that. What are you saying now? What are you blinking at me now for? Did you not take or something? Oh, we're in the pit. That's my pit line one. So most people don't like Alcantara, and I get it. Or suede, or microfiber, whatever you want to call it. I'm a fan. These are my difficulty settings, by the way. Not very difficult. I get it. But I'm not. They're not here for. They're here for track learning, essentially. Because yes, I should be learning the tracks probably on a time trial, but in my opinion, I'm trying to move along the process of learning the tracks just a little bit. And Laguna Seca is a popular one. It is in Project Motor Racing, and this is all essentially practice for Project Motor Racing. Now, this could all be a massive, massive waste of time because Project Motor Racing could be horrible and I never play it again. But the fact that it's crossplay, and a lot of my friends do this on PS5, it's definitely at least worth giving a shot. And if not for nothing, but the biggest complaint I've seen about Project Motor Racing so far has been the AI looking pretty bad, and I agree, it does look pretty bad. But I'm sorry, I think the AI sucks in every game. I think the AI is the best in this game of all of the ones that I've played. And I think I was in, what, P14 or whatever? And yeah, my line probably wasn't the safest line, but when we made contact, he just continued to drive through me and push me off the road. Now, if that was two players that are trying to not crash, if there was a collision, both guys would try and back off to get out of that situation, because nobody benefits from staying in contact and driving off the road. Now, if I cut in and they bumped and I went fender to their, if I hadn't fully cleared them like in that situation there, and we bumped, typically the person that you got turned into might brake, unless they were, of course, being spiteful and wanted to push you off the road for cutting in on them. But typically, neither person wants to crash, so you would make contact and then back off, and then both guys would get back on the track, and that would be some kind of illegal move for the person who overtook or whatever. But you don't just crash. And that's what the AI did there. And it drives me nuts. And the AI in this is supposed to be the best it's ever been, which I think it is. But, like, I recorded a clip of when I was using some F1 cars going around Spa, and I went from last to first place in 2 turns because there was a massive early pack pileup, and they just kept piling up. It looked like a cartoon. That car's fun. Let's go back to the my tried and true Viper. So what's your favorite Sims to play there, Dragos? I assume AMS since you're watching this. Unless it's just my ravishing good looks that have pulled you into my stream. Opponent number 31, Jesus. You know, let's start middle pack. And also, let me run to the bathroom real quick. All right. So yeah, got my Alcantara wheel coming today. Pretty pumped on that. Because this wheel is very durable material-wise, but I also don't like it from just it's not, if you're going to advertise something as leather, in my opinion, it needs to be more leather than this. This is a bit too composite-y for my feel. And I went with leather because it's a little bit more durable, but after feeling it, it feels like there's just way too much plastic in it. So, back to my Alcantara. They're gonna start me right in the turn again, aren't you? Yep. Even mid-pack, it starts me there. Oh, you sons of bitches are just driving around me. But I can't say I have one. AC and iRacing? Yeah, like I said, I would love to play or to get into iRacing, but I already know that the grind that's gonna be. And if I do get hooked into the iRacing grind, it's gonna be hard for me to play anything else, time-wise. Because I have a tendency to like try and spend my time perfecting something that I'm into. And iRacing, as you know, is not a quick perfection. I don't think anybody's perfect at it. Maybe Verstappen, but even that, I don't know. Sneak in there. Go with this view for now. One thing I wish I could say is I wish this windshield was not dirty on the Viper, because this is one of my favorite cars in this game, and it's one of the newer cars. But the windshield is extremely dirty, and it kind of is annoying. It's like a nice clear picture. I'm looking at an OLED TV right now, and it looks like I'm looking at it through dirt, because there's a dirt filter on the damn windshield. I get it, realism, blah, 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 but, you know. So where are you from, Dragos? We got it. Whoa, hello. Romania, United States. So what's the time over in Romania? Because you're actually the second person that's called one of my daytime, because I do a daytime and a nighttime stream. And you're the second Romanian that's called my morning stream. It's 10:44 a.m. here. $17:45 there. Interesting. So you guys are only 7 hours difference. Not bad. That makes sense, actually. Evening hours. It's funny, I had a feeling that was going to be the case because I've done a lot of different things on YouTube. Motorcycles, podcasts. I have played my share of Call of Duty live, but those I never really pushed to be any kind of... I never wanted to be any kind of Call of Duty streamer or whatever. I just don't like those games enough. And not to mention, there's thousands of them out there already. But, but sim racing is something that I've always kind of wanted to get myself involved with from a hobby and just overall fun standpoint. And having done real life racing, it's sort of a nice lateral movement in content. But so far, of the things that I have talked about and done on YouTube in the short amount of time that I've been doing the sim racing thing, it has, I would say, crossed international waters the most. Because motorcycle racing, you would think, you know, GP racing is more popular overseas than it is in the States. Everything is. And I had my overseas following there, but I feel like sim racing is definitely dominant outside of the States. Not bad. Gotta get a little aggressive. Bump drafting, right? That's NASCAR. This is just bumping in this. Oh. Alright. There's the 1 and 2. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough in this lap to go and get him. Ah, not when driving like that. That's for damn sure. I'll be lucky to stay on the podium if that's how I drive. Oof. Oof. Yeah, no way I'm catching him. Oh my god. Eyes on the road! Oh, this is the view I wanted. That's right. Oh, son of a... Oh, there goes the podium. Unsafe return. Who cares? I just lost the podium, so you're all gonna suffer. Experimenting with too many things at once, not focusing on racing. Went from 3rd to 14th from one glance off the track. P13. What a bum. I may be here for other stream. I don't like TV shows, and I put... I gotcha. Best apps to put on the TV. YouTube and Twitch. I haven't watched Twitch in a minute. I watch YouTube like it's the only thing that exists. I think I'm going to try some other cars, too. Alright, skip the cooldown. We get it. You suck. Oh, alright. Oh, wrong thing. Do I want to try championship? I don't know. Anybody done championships on AMS? Never tried one. What did I say I was going to do? I already forgot. Oh yeah, different cars. I don't think I've tried the Lambo yet, the Murcielago. Much better than TV, for sure. For sure. Well, there's always some kind of, like, message in TV these days. It's kind of exhausting. Like, just tell me a good story or leave me alone. Entertain me. Don't preach. To Galileo Airport. Into any championships in AMS? Yeah, I want to know what it's like. I was thinking about starting career mode in ACC. I just don't... Maybe at least a short stint one. But undecided. This is what's good about, let's say, NASCAR coming out, even though it's turn left simulator. And Project Motor Racing, and I saw Rensport came out, and it looks like it's terrible still, so that's fine, because, I mean, like I said earlier, I played it before the most recent patch, and I thought it was terrible. And it looks like it's the same thing. ACC didn't do it for you? Oh, shit. I like AC. I don't know if I like ACC's racing. Like, I like racing in this a whole lot more. But I think ACC kind of stands alone right now when it comes to, like, doing time trials and just solo lap. I don't know. My ideal physics for cars would be right between ACC and AMS. So, I think AMS, or AMC if you're, you know, combining them. AMS, the cars are a little too slidey. It doesn't really seem like it affects the way the car actually handles. It seems like it's more of an animation. But it's a little too slidey for my taste. I'm in 6th. Oh, never mind. It's telling me to go to 7th. Gotcha. Smooth brain. I'm still waking up. Give me a break. But ACC, the cars feel really glued to the ground. Debating switching over to the Formula wheel. Oh look, AI crash. What are you running for gear, if you don't mind me asking? Wheelbase, all that fun stuff. I'm more of a tech nerd when it comes to anything else. As much as I like enjoy my video games, I like technology just a little bit more. So I could talk about wheels and wheelbases more than I could talk about the actual games, and they matter so much less for actual skill set. Moza, next level racing rig, nice. Moza's gotten quite popular. They've grown. They got a wide variety, fairly priced. I wish more rigs were, or more kit was console compatible. I know, it's the far lesser experience than PC. I am a PC guy through and through, but I came from a Logitech Pro wheelbase before this, and one thing Logitech is hands down better at than every other brand, and I don't really care to even debate about it, because I've been using all of these different technologies for so long. Day one support and compatibility, Logitech's the best. You can't touch them. Well, you could if they spent more time on firmware and stuff like that, but you know, it's the most basic piece of kit when it comes to gear. It's good. It's not bad by any means. Like this wheelbase is far superior when it comes to a mechanical piece. But you just plug it in and you're done. Yeah, you can configure stuff and make it more ideal for your driving, but every other piece of kit I've ever tried and used, you gotta sit there and you gotta button map everything. The Logitech DD, for example, in this, it just works in the menu. Nothing works in the menu on this. I got a buddy who's got a Moza R5, and he has yet to get it working with AMS. I might be able to get it working for him if I was there, but... Yeah, the FGT Pro is my first next level rig. Now, mind you, I didn't exactly go cheap, but I think they shine in the non. I know a lot of their extrusion stuff is well liked and used, but I think, in my opinion, not that there's anything wrong with it, but if I was going to shop for an extrusion rig, I'd go probably ASR or SimLab or something, because they're not really any more expensive or cheaper. They're priced all about the same, and I like the ASR stuff even. I like the ASR stuff the best, to be honest with you, when it comes to the extrusion stuff. But I will say, this tube chassis, oh AI, I don't know what you were thinking. Oh, you too, what is happening here? Oh, it's the end of the race. I guess they were making moves. I want to switch up to the Formula Wheel, do some experimenting with that. But yeah, where I think the market is, it's hard to say, because, like, in my opinion, I think the market is, it's saturating for the better right now. In sim racing market, I mean. So the Logitech 8 Newton meter base coming out, I think that was a big stride, because that's $350. That's a solid deal for 8 Newton meters, and then knowing you're getting Logitech, quality, compatibility, stuff like that, that's a hard base to argue with on the budget side. I could make arguments for the not getting the $700 DD Pro that I had, but $350 for the 3 less Newton meters, a much smaller, more modernized profile, it's hard to argue with that. Moza's got a lot of good kit. All right, let me swap my wheel. So I will say my gateway into Simagic, getting their gear, was actually this wheel. The GT Neo. In my opinion, I don't think that and this is why I say in my opinion, I don't think there is a better wheel sub $300. Like, this thing feels solid. The Moza KS, I think it was. I'd have to look it up, the exact name. I think that's right, though. But because I was looking at that one first, and then I stumbled across this one, and then I, obviously review spamming. This wheel got me into Simagic, and now I have their entire lineup. This wheel was the gateway drug into their ecosystem, and I do not regret it one bit. I have their P1000 pedals and stuff like that, but I will say, out of all their kit, that's really good. I mean, the H pattern's solid, the e-brake's solid, the pedals are solid, the Alpha Pro is solid. this wheel stands out to me. I'll be interested to see what the Alcantara round wheel looks like, or feels like more than anything else. Let's go with a paddle shift car now. So, I keep seeing the Miata in Project Motor Racing. Maybe that's because that's what iRacing does, so they're trying to compare and contrast. But I want to see what we have here for... This is all Formula. Skip past Formula. Still Formula. Formula, Formula, Formula. Jesus! We get it! Canada G40. What do we get for yeah, GT4? Want something on the slower side. Here we go, GT5. GT, that should be, yeah. Let's try this Janetta G40 out. See what this thing's about. Looks pretty slow. Helps to hit start. Do a track, what's it called? I guess I'm going to do some practice on Monza, but it's not what I want to do because I know Monza fairly well. I do not like Road Atlanta. That is a track I've grown to just not like over time. Silverstone, Spa. What is Mount Panorama? I know it's in here. Let's go to the top. Right here. Bathurst. Got it. Got it. 2020, 1983. Go 2020. Let's kill the AI. Make them weaker. 5 laps. Probably should do some solos, but it passes the time better when you have some vultures in your way to try and drive around. All right. See how this car drives. I don't expect it to be very fast. No, I'm on the wrong wheel for this car. I don't really care. This is the try-hard wheel for me. You see me on this wheel, it means I'm at least trying somewhat. Woof. I might have started a little too slow. Alright, we're in 19th. Oh my. My Ford Focus, this is about how fast my Focus ST is. My real life daily driver. Actually, my Focus might be a little faster. Yeah, my Focus is definitely faster, sadly. Because it is slow. Probably should have went to a GT3 car, if I'm being honest with you. GT4, maybe. But whatever. Oops. Like that. Why? Why? Ah. See if I can take this turn out wide open in this car. It's slow enough. I feel like I probably... Nope, definitely can't. I actually probably should have taken a look to see what we could put on these for tires. It's going to be a long 5 laps in this car. Go, baby, go. No braking zone for me. Not till here. Oh, probably... Okay. I vastly underestimated this car's braking ability. It's alright. We got it. We gained 0 positions. No, I lied. We lost 1. Nice. Alright. I don't know if I have the real life patience for cars that are slower than my street car and stop worse than my street car. And my street car is a production car. I could see that car being more fun on a slower speed track. But that car's just got way too much, or that track has way too much straight for that level of speed. So let's go GT3. I spent a lot of time in this Porsche in GT7, so let's compare. All right. Not the best sound the car's ever made, I'll say that. Probably doing way too much shifting right now, but I My problem is that I'm trying to anticipate the AI prematurely stopping. Like that. Tenth place, alright. Not bad for one lap. I mean, the AI is also pretty stupid right now, too, so... Oops, my bad. Not the best line there at all, but get through the pack and then I can focus on a line. Alright, podium. Let's not mess this up now. How am I doing so far? Sloppy. Oh. Alright, we gotta go like 25 meters earlier. Try 75. 75's not bad right there. Let's go 75 again. I mean, I was a little shy of 75, but 75 is probably solid there too. Let's do 75 here since we're on a 75 stint. It's aggressive, but it's not bad. Hey, for what it's worth, this track broke me in Gran Turismo. That's why I'm doing it right now. Oh no, we got it. That one wasn't as bad. I saw some progress there. I don't know if it translated to any time, but at least from a, you know, smoothness standpoint, I have hundreds of laps on this track on Gran Turismo, which is irrelevant. But it's a very easy track to forget if you don't spend any time on it. I spent way too much time on the Nordschleife. It's just the most fun track. I gotta remember that, these corners, 'cause that ain't it. I would turn the line on for some advice, but I don't trust the line. And this handles just like a Porsche. Ass chases everywhere. That should have been third. And second here. Stay in second. Stay in second. Third. Fourth. Third. Second. Conquer the mountain. I'm trying. Jeez. I gotta remember the braking zone there. It's early. Alright, skip cooldown lap. Exit to main menu. All right, so move the mouse back over here. Try mods, try LFM. Oh my god. Use the bathroom again. Let's see. I don't know what I want to do. I'd say I don't know what I want to do. There's just a lot of little things that I want to do, and I just don't know the order. I know the sound of a car has a big effect on keeping me interested. And I know that's silly, but when cars just sound bleh, I don't know. Like, the F1 GTR is an incredible sounding car. What's your favorite car in this game? I'll say that. While you answer that, I'm going to eat my lunch, which is a small yogurt. All right. New BMW GTR and the DPI Cadillac and F1 cars. All right. I like F1 cars a lot. I don't know how I like them in this game. Because the slide physics of this game make me not believe the F1 car stuff. Because I have F1 25. Now, mind you, I know that's not a sim. That's an arcade game. But everything I've come to learn about F1 cars is the exceeding amount of grip that they have. It's mind-boggling how good their grip is. Usually, you can't drive to the car's limit. Not saying by usually I mean your average person who would ever drive a car. Obviously, the current F1 drivers drive them to their limits. But in this, it just feels like I'm taking the cars. I'll actually show you what I mean. I'll do a, let's get out of this. Do test day. Let's go over, let's take an F1, modern F1 car, Gen 2. All right. So this is, I believe, the most modern F1 car in AMS. Let's go to Spa. And now, I'll show you what I mean. Like, I've noticed too that, like, they always talk about, like, updates and stuff in terms of their physics. I don't know if that's like if they backdate every car's physics, because it seems like the newer the cars are added to this game, the better they actually work. And that slide physics that they have notoriously tends to be mitigated quite a bit. But, like, the problem with these cars is that, or not the problem with the cars, but this game and these cars, is that these cars, where you have to trick your brain is to stay in the throttle, stay in the turn, and just drive through it, because it'll grip. But this game, the cars feel very slidey. And so because of that, it makes you let out of the throttle, makes you shift maybe out of a turn a little, or downshift, when you should stay in the same gear and stay throttled. So, I don't know, it's the cars are too slidey in this for me to believe that this is how they really are. Like that right there. Nope. That makes me drive it like a regular car. So I roll out of the throttle when I shouldn't. That was just bad driving right there. That's all that was. See, like that. Come on. That's not... I'm on softs right now. Mind you, the tires say that they're warm. This car just feels all over the place. How are the F1 physics in iRacing? Because don't get me wrong, I could have some fun with this, but I just kind of got to pretend in my brain that it's not an F1 car. Skill issue? I agree, Zach. I agree. I guess let out, downshift just to keep it safe. It's like I'm driving on a slinky. Exactly, they don't slide like this at all. Like... It's so weird because it's definitely an animation choice. It's not a physics choice. So the cars will understeer, but the sensation is you're oversteering because you're sliding. But the reality is if you're actually going to crash this car, you're going to understeer right off the wall, or right off the road. Just don't go in the dirt. Now that's how you do a lap. I mean, shit, they cut the grass in real F1 and don't get penalized, so why can't I? You get the idea. The sensation of that car in this game just doesn't... I don't like it. Now, make a tutorial, right? There's so many Formula cars in this game. I do like this one. The Lotus Renault has always been one of my favorites. At least the way it's translated. This is a popular one. This and the no, just this one. But the V12s sound the best. Let's take around... Alright, you're going to get to make fun of me now, because I have not driven this car around, well, actually in this game at all. And you said this is one of your favorites, so... Now you get to see how much of a noob I am by comparison. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Very, light in the nose force feedback right there. Like, there was a brief second there where I had nothing. And I don't think that was a hardware issue. I think that was the game input. Okay. See, this is where I got to get out of the... I was just in an F1 car mentality. I will say they have... Yeah, this car is very, very understeery. One thing I am not... I can get decent at driving anything, you give me enough time. But just switching back and forth from different types of cars, you're gonna see truly how poor of a driver I really am. Yeah, this car slides a lot. Like, I mean, it's understeery. Yeah, this car's a very interesting feeling. Wow. Alright, you're far better at that than me, I imagine. That car's got a lot. I mean, now mind you, I didn't even check to see what tires were on it. Let me see if that has anything to do with it. One thing about this game that's slightly annoying is not every car gets every tire selection. I don't know why. So what did it... Son of a bitch. Soft and wets. I imagine it was on softs. I doubt they put it on wets. But... these are weird. I don't know if you've ever driven these. They are strange. Needless to say, I haven't quite mastered how to drive these things. Catarams are fun, but they don't stop. Like, at all. Like, of all the characteristics of any vehicle ever made, braking... It's ironic because I come from straight line motorcycle racing and braking is the last thing we care about. But when it comes to road racing cars, braking to me is the thing. I don't care how fast it goes, how good it corners. If it can't stop, it's kind of junk to me. This is still my favorite car, at least in the AMS. Sauber Mercedes. Haven't driven any of these. These are actually really fun from the new patch. Emails. All right. Let's see how we do on this. Oh, the track's over here, bro. Where are you going? I know where I'm going on this track. Can you tell? Is that the track or is this track? I think that's the track. That's definitely the track. It's okay, we'll get there. We'll get back to it. One thing I will say about this game that's great They've programmed the Geo outside the racetrack pretty far on a lot of tracks. Which is surprising. Buzzing for PMR? Agreed. Let's just hope it's good. Like, good enough is what I should say. Because you can believe hype. Hype is created to take your money. But I'm holding out that it's going to be a good product. I think... Oh, Jesus. Don't hold out for me being a good driver, though. By the way, I've never driven Silverstone before. Can't you tell? I have no idea where I'm going. For the sake of learning a little bit about this track, since there's not a whole lot of like geo on the track to kind of tell me where to go, so until I memorize it, I'm kind of, as they would say, pissing in the wind. So let's do always, just to give me a line to follow. So I pre-ordered, but I mean, here's the thing: are you on console or are you on PC? Jesus. Alright, you know what? I want to do this track still, but I want to change the car. I want a car with a little more character. So if you're on PC and you use Steam, which I don't know if Project Motor Racing is going to be available through anything else, but I pre-ordered it. I obviously have Steam, and I don't mind pre-ordering when I have Steam because it's so easy to get a refund. So in this case here, I have 2 hours to see if the game is broken or junk. And in that 2 hours, I go, well, I'm going to keep it or I'm not. And if it feels good and I like it, I'm going to keep it. If I think, nope, this game's not ready to take my money yet, I'll get a refund. You know? So when it comes to Steam, I don't think it matters in terms of pre-ordering. If you're on console, I would 100% wait to pre-order. That's all my opinion. Who am I? I am but a guy. It's a good... It's so difficult to choose, like, because, like, I really like... Okay, you know what? Let's try the Aston Martin. I really like the Aston Martin in ACC. So we'll see how it is in this. I thought that said Jesse Eisenberg has the world record. No, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It has the potential to fill a void in sim racing that just doesn't exist right now. Or the void exists. Filling it is what doesn't. Crossplay, that's a huge one for me. Like, if this game, AMS, was crossplay and it was on console, oh god, I'd be playing this with everybody. But because it's PC only, I have a lot of friends that play on PS5 too. You know. There's the line. Wow, no brakes when you're, I mean, no turning at all on the brake. Oh, never mind, tires are cold. That's another thing that's weird about this game. Some cars start with cold tires, other cars start with tires at operating temperature. What's the disconnect? I'm not changing any settings. Can someone explain that to me who has time in this game? Like, this car right now is on cold tires. That explains the fact that I hit the brakes and completely drove off the track. But the LMP car I was just in had warm tires right out of pits. I played some iRacing last year, but it's just so expensive. I agree. Hoping this scratches that itch. I agree there. iRacing is just a dominant force. Like, I want a game that I can be a casual in, and I can also try hard, and it depends on the mood. But games that you sort of, or games, sims, whatever you want to call it, where you have to pick and choose. Like, I love ACC's driving experience. I hate the racing experience because it's try hard. It's too try hard. So the game's presentation is, this is authentic, this is real GT3 racing, which I appreciate. But trying to organize a race is too difficult for how much of a simulation it is. People don't take it seriously enough. Whereas this feels like a much more casual experience where it's not too hard to get a lobby going, you can have some fun, or you could try hard. I like ACC better for its driving. I like AMS better for its overall presentation and just fun factor. Like, what we'll do is this. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I want to do. I think I did this last stream too, but I'm going to do it again. Couldn't get into LFM on ACC, I was way too slow. Yeah. Couldn't take part in competitive racing. I hear you. Competitive racing is tough because it's like, the second you have to commit to... I want Aston Martin. Commit to losing being like an actual punishment, it kind of sucks. So, games in general are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be a way to break away from the real world and enjoy it. But at the same time, I assume most people are like me, where I am a very competitive person. But I'm also able to disconnect from competition so I can just have fun and be like, oh no, I lost. Okay, whatever, no big deal. But the second you put me in like a ranked play or something that like, hey, look, if what happens here in this race or match or whatever it is sticks with you past this, my brain sort of flips a switch and the competitive side turns on, and now it's much less of a pure fun experience and more of like a, all right, I got to try now, and because this is going to stick with me, you know? And I know it still doesn't necessarily matter, but that's just how my brain's wired. Like these races right here, I couldn't care less how I do. Well, these are just test days, but couldn't care less how I do because when the race is over, it's gone. Like it never happened. So I'm just dicking around, having a fun time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Aston Martin around the ring, Nordschleife, in this, and then I'm going to do it back-to-back in ACC. But I'm going to do it by myself to show you where, in my opinion, where ACC truly shines. Oh, I'm going to turn off the racing line too, because I don't need the racing line on this. And like, what's crazy too is, so I run stability control and traction control in this game on full send, on full assist, because I've turned down TC, but you turn stability control off in this game, and all of a sudden all of those like animated slide physics become just crashing the whole time. And I mean, you have to be so gentle. To the point where it's like, all right, this game I am just trying to have fun. I don't feel like this game captures real life raw physics, or traction physics anyway, very well. I could be wrong, but I just know in the racing world where I come from, the professionals use TC, they use stability controls, they use all that. Nobody races cars in a raw state because they would all crash. Same with motorcycles, MotoGP. Years ago, there was a MotoGP race. It was either MotoGP or World Superbike. I forget which one. where in one of the turns, two guys rubbed very gently, and they both damaged their ABS tone rings / sensors. So the next turn, they had no actual throttle or traction control. The next turn, both guys crashed because they relied on traction control and it wasn't there, and they both low-sided and crashed. I will say this game, soundstage-wise, for the this Aston Martin, might put me to sleep. I'm just saying. That was just bad driving right there. That's all that was. Like, for example, I need full TC on in this game. I can dip it down to medium and be okay. I can turn it off in ACC and drive the cars fine. Obviously, if I get too throttle happy, I will spin. But in this game, you can't. You have to rely on TC to make a decent pass or lap. Oh, boogers. That was a bit too aggressive on the slowdown. Used to some faster cars through that turn. Like I said, I'm not good at just switching around in cars. Nope, too much. And I will so I believe Project Motor Racing comes out on Tuesday, 2 weeks from tomorrow, the 25th. So that means I'm going to be streaming it. I mean, I'm going to be testing it Tuesday, for starters. And then I will be streaming it Wednesday if it is not broken and I get a refund. I will say the Nürburgring, my favorite car in AMS is the Sauber Mercedes. And the Sauber Mercedes on this track with the round wheel and the H pattern, pure bliss. I need a G Fuel. Now, more than a G Fuel, I need a G Fuel sponsorship. A lot of things I need. Alright, so that was a full lap in AMS. Now I'm going to take that same car around the track in ACC. And I think doing this is where you appreciate ACC. There is no perfect game/sim for racing right now. Nothing is perfect. They're all good at certain things. Be right back, fellas. Alright, that was intense. Alright, so now we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. Let's use the Aston Martin. Where's she at? Oof. I don't remember which one, if it was the V8 or the V12. Anybody remember? I don't know what the AMS car was. I want to go ahead and say it was the V8. Shoot. V8? Okay. Glad someone's paying attention. Any of these green? Gotta have green. No. That silver wasn't bad. Or gray. Alright, so now we're going to take this one around the track, compare it directly to AMS. What's going on, Cosmin? Good to have you back. Dragos, thanks for paying attention, because I'm sure as hell not. But, in my opinion, this is where ACC completely shines.
Green line, give it all you got.
So for the hell of it too, I'm actually going to turn TC off. That might be a mistake. I might want to go 1. But for the sake of showing you that the car is still drivable. Oh my god, the handling physics, I should say the force feedback. I wish I knew the Grand Prix circuit. Hold on, I actually have to turn down my force feedback a little bit. I have it maxed out on the wheel, and then in game, what is it? Controls. Yeah. So it's 18 Newton meters, whatever 85% 18 Newton meters is. That's what I was just using. A little too hard. I mean, it's fine. If I was like really wanting some firm handling or some feedback, I'd be using that. But 75, I believe, is where I liked it best. So let's try this again. One day I'll stop pausing it going into a turn. One day. I'm confident. I would say everything feels better in ACC over AMS. So it is strange though. So talking about force feedback, let's pause it here. So there is a lack of force feedback in the center of ACC. So right here, there's like I don't want to say a dead spot, but there's I can move the wheel relatively easily. And then once I get past that point, I can feel the grip of the tires really having to turn through it. AMS, a lot of the force feedback is right there at center, and then you turn out of it a little bit. So that's almost very opposite feeling. As far as which I like better, it's hard to say. I would say it's almost what I'm in the mood for. But objectively speaking, I think the overall handling physics of the cars in ACC is better than AMS. It's not slide physics. Oh, forgot, no TC. Keep it together. That's right, that's a 50A maybe? I don't remember. By the way, I'm used to the ISF, so don't judge my driving on this car. Even though GT3 cars are all supposed to be equal, they all drive wildly different to me. But this is where, in my opinion, ACC shines. I keep forgetting, let me put TC on 1 because I keep forgetting I shut it off. So I'm driving like there's some TC there and there's not. Also looking at my settings, don't mind me. Here's where I can say the wheelbase absolutely feels better in ACC. Being on the limit. When you're right there on the limit of your tires, I think this gives you better feedback. ACC. Which is technically the most important feedback, knowing when you're on the limit and when you're not. Oh, going wide. There you go. Get out of it. But what I'm saying about the center line, like, look. But right here, I can tell I'm getting some force feedback. I just wish there was a little more right here in the center. Now I could obviously add like the wheel damper because I have that at 0. That would definitely stiffen some of that up. But the wheel damper also neuters a lot of the force feedback when you actually need it, which is why I typically run that at 0. There could be a setting, but I think it's more the programming of the game than anything else, because it doesn't really matter what hardware you have and what settings are available in the hardware. At the end of the day, the telemetry the game is sending is what matters most. So if this game were telling the wheelbase to have more force feedback at centerline, then a lot of that would go away. So I can use, like I said, I can use the mechanical damper that's available to me, and that will stiffen up the center, that little dead spot area, but it will also neuter some of the small feedback that I want to keep. So it's not, these are, by the way, like, these aren't really complaints. These are just observations. It's fine. Both of them are fine. I would never drive AMS or ACC and go like, oh, this feels terrible from a force feedback standpoint. I'm just being extra critical and critiquing them because I'm directly comparing them right now. But from a pure don't do that. From a pure simulation standpoint, solo lap on the Nordschleife in a GT3 car, which feels more authentic and like I'm actually there? ACC by a landslide. The soundstage is a big part of it. And I think the ISF is like such a good sounding car in this game. They did it so good. Like both of my shoulders right now, I got the burn going on. This is the other Romanian you mentioned before? Maybe. Cosmin, are you from Romania? I can't remember. Oh! Like, that's another thing I really liked. 100% of my force feedback went away when I went airborne. Because the tires are on the ground. Got it. See? I knew I remembered. Alright, so I want to do that one more time, but I want to do it with the ISF, because the ISF, I think, is the best car in this game. Subjective opinion. Alright, so... I don't know. Oh... Alright.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Let's get my settings right. TC. This car is also fun to drift. Like this. Is it sad that I think ACC has some of the best drift physics of every game I've played, and it's a GT3 game? I need it. Too much. I think it was, yeah, let's do that. Let's have a little fun here. Oh, damn. I want to say it was, Monza. Which direction is Monza? Not that way, of course, I picked the opposite. Right here. Oh, it's right. Was it? I hate. Oh, dear. Might be easier to try drifting this, though, with the, an actual round wheel.
Green light, go, go, go.
Actually, that's what we can do. We can compare drift physics. Oh, TC. I'm like, why didn't that go sideways? Forgot about TC. Gotta turn that off if you want to spin tires. The fact that I am floored right now is crazy. Close, close. Problem is that the car doesn't have the power to start in second gear and start spinning, but I need the mile an hour of second gear to keep it going. So let's try and get up to higher speed and go in a second. If I didn't go in the dirt, I might have had that. I'm totally doing the wrong thing in this game, but I don't care. Come on, this is why they struggle in second gear to drift. No low end. What an American. Alright, so I know what I want to do. Oh, I want to do some hooliganism, but I'm going to do it in AMS. Alright. Cosmo, what time is it there again? Ugh. Trying to think what's a decent car for the drift in this. You want something that has, let's try the old Sauber. You want something that's got a little bit more power so it can carry the drift, that it can push through the grip. And also, too, I want to change this. Where is it? Gameplay, display, cockpit wheel driver off. Oh, and also, this is how you got to do it. Off, off. That should make it spin happy. 7:19 p.m. in Cairo, Egypt. I'm just curious. I always want to know what time everything is everywhere. Because from a time standpoint, streaming is like a giant experiment for me. Because, yeah, obviously I know what time it is in the States, all time zones. But the rest of the world, and sim racing is very popular in the rest of the world, I've always been curious. What areas of the world will be watching, say, a stream about sim racing while I'm live, middle of the day, and also not middle of the night, but late night. Obviously, I stream every 12 hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every other 12 hours, I mean. So, if it's 7:19 p.m. for you, it'll be in the morning time. So, it seems that your guys' like time zone, whatever that time zone is, pardon my American ignorance, lines up very well for viewing my streams when I do mine. Like 7 hours apart or so. Alright, so let's try this drifty action. Does e-brake work in this? I don't think e-brake works in this. Yeah, no. Well, as you can see, you can spin very easily. Almost a little too easy. This car might have too much power to drift. Oh, as soon as it goes into second gear, it's game over. Let's try this. Clutch kick. All right. Oof, this might be challenging. Let's try this. No, we need third. Just slow it down, second gear, and then let's try a clutch kick. That didn't work. And we're dead. I love the sound of this car. It's my favorite car in this game. I know I've said it like 57 times, but that was number 58, just in case you forgot. Drifting it is not easy, though. That's why I was saying, I think ACC has some of the best drift physics that I've experienced in a racing sim so far. Yeah, because this car just Jesus. This car just swings around on you. Drifting in this reminds me a lot more of Gran Turismo drifting, where it's kind of not, you have no control after the limit of the tires, which is not real. In real life, that's literally an entire sport dedicated to not having control of your tires, or having control of your tires past the limit. Yeah, this just spins around. Like, see how I just kept spinning? Nothing. This is, well, that's what I'm saying, though. In ACC, you can do this in a GT3 car. And they have just as much grip and way less power. So, this car should have the power to push through the grip. And it clearly does, because it spins out. But it's the problem with, and this is actually, so real quick, let's do some tech talk here. One of the videos I was recently watching was Ben Collins. Exactly, that's my point. So I was on a wheel in Gran Turismo, and I mean, I couldn't do the very easy version of the drift challenge. I got on controller and got gold the very first attempt, and I never played on controller. So this is very parallel to that. The drifting is very relatively useless. But it was something that on the Gamer Muscle channel, he was talking to Ben Collins. And Ben Collins, I don't know if you know who that is he was one of the Stigs in Top Gear. Real Stigs. Not the fake ones that they did like multiple reveals of, and they were just other people. One of them was Schumacher, but Schumacher was never actually the Stig. But anyway, Ben Collins has been helping with the physics side of development for simulators. And now Ben Collins is a very good real-world racer and a terrible sim racer. Sadly, I mean, there is still a disconnect. And his biggest disconnect... That's true. That's a good point. But the problem with the drifting in this, though, I don't know if it's going to necessarily... It's not so much the chasing of it, is the fact that once the tires break free, they keep... It's almost like you get parked on ice. And that's where their conversation comes in, where they're speaking about, where Ben Collins mainly, and I forgot the guy's name, Gamer Muscle, his channel... They're talking about the lack of realism of control after, like, say, peak grip. So you're at the limit of your rear grip, rear tires, and then once you pass that limit, it transitions right to full grip to I am now on ice. And that isn't real life. Real life, now, I don't know how much driving you guys have done. So, for example, when I first started, my first sports car was so in America, it was a Pontiac GTO. But everywhere else in the world, it's a Holden Monaro. Now, I don't know if you know who Reese Millen is. Reese Millen was the guy who drifted for Team Holden. And so I spent a lot of time fanboying over him and their team and drifting my GTO / Monaro in real life. And where drifting or physics in grip in games has completely lost realism whatsoever is that once those tires break free, it acts like, okay, you've passed the limit, now you have no control. And that is wildly inaccurate. You have a shit ton of control past the full limit. So that's where drifting is. That's where all of drifting happens, being past the limit, but you're still in control. Where in this game here, ACC, I think, does it great, by comparison anyway. I have so much more control of the slide past peak grip, where in this, the second you go past peak, you just spin out. You have no control. And that's where I like that conversation was the entire time they're talking about. So I'm hoping that conversation translates to Project Motor Racing, getting at least some of that right. You know, I fully expect Project Motor Racing to have its issues and bugs out of the gate. But like, in my opinion, like everybody's complaining about how the AI looks. Objectively, it looks kind of bad. But like, if they can manage, you know, grip, and they can handle that part of physics, and the AI sucks, I don't give a shit about the AI. The cars drive great. I can do what I want in the car by myself. I can always go race my friends. I will always value racing friends or competitive people over AI. AI is just there to give you something to do, in my opinion. But I'm hoping Project Motor Racing at least does it better. Because as you can see here, so for the hell of it, let's entertain the centering spring and see if it gets any better. We're going to go right to 100. Wheel rotation speed, 100, because that's typically going to be the most amount of correction. That's going to break my hands too, by the way. All right, so I'm just going to kick it sideways and let go of the wheel. See all? All right. All it did was jackknife me back and forth. Because the problem with that centering spring is it just kicks it back and forth. Like, watch. That's the centering spring. Cars don't do that in real life. I will never like that centering spring because I've just driven cars, too much words, they're hard, in real life, and that centering spring feels like a fake thing that doesn't happen in a real car. Because like now I just can't control the steering. Before I couldn't control the rear wheel speed and grip, now I can't control the steering to try and counter steer it. Alright, let's do a clutch kick. Let's bring it in here. Yeah, all it's doing now is the second I try and throw the wheel to drift it a little bit, it immediately kicks it back. So let's try 50%, see if that makes it any better. Oh, wrong icon. All right, let's go 50%, try that. Jesus. problem is the rear grip. It worked better that time than the 100%, but it's not... that's just because it just took away some of the broken steering. The issue is the rear grip. And it's control after losing grip. See that the problem... Now, mind you, I could probably throttle out a little bit better there. But, like... At some point, that should start to come back, and it never does. Because it's like there's... It's acting as if there's just zero grip. Like, your rear tires are now sliding on ice, rather than... That is still a soft slick on hot asphalt. There is still grip there. You're just spinning past peak grip. And that's where games seem to, like... Jesus. God, that centering spring will break your hand. There's just... Oh, it drives me nuts. It reminds me of Gran Turismo. That's the problem. And like you said, if you've played Gran Turismo, you understand that drifting in that game on a wheel was like one of its massive flaws. Because you can drift on a controller, no problem. So let's try without that again. Ah, though already the wheel feels... Because watch. The wheel still comes back to center. It just feels real. Now with the like that's what I'm saying. Like with that feature being off, now it feels like when I'm going straight and I curve the wheel and to come it back, it feels like the wheel and the steering rack naturally are bringing it back. It's not going because cars don't do that. Like if you're driving a car in real life at any speed and you turn the wheel and then let go of the wheel, it either stays there or slowly comes back, or it comes back a little bit quicker, but it doesn't go past it. So that centering spring or that wheel rotation speed, whatever it is a massive extra level that... Because the problem is too, is even in a drifting scenario, once it goes past center, like it spins it past center, it's going to start wanting to spin it the other way. So, I don't even know if it's going to be useful in drifting. That's all tires. That's all tire. There should be more grip there to give me the ability to handle that. Because the wheel's at full lock. So, like, it's not like turning the wheel away from full lock is going to make it handle the drift better. It needs more grip. Because, like, I have the wheels fully locked out, and I'm just still oversteering past the point of control with almost no throttle input. Oh! Car still got like 1,000 horsepower, so I gotta remind myself that it can spin out in a straight line too. Now, let's try this. We know we can't do it in this car. Let's try a car with less power. Maybe that will be a way to counter the lack of control of the tire by just putting less power to it. Because that was, what? Okay, 850 horsepower. But that was on a soft tire. So if I can't get grip on a soft tire... let's try the Viper. 630, so we're down 200 horsepower. Still on softs. See if that makes it any easier. Oh, I forgot, no TC. I'm locked on the throttle coming out of the pits. Alright, so I have to turn, I'm gonna turn right. And then I'm gonna snap it left. That was too much. That was more me than the game. It goes from full grip to no grip, like zero grip, so fast. Come on, I'm trying to be gentle with it so I don't spin around again. Solid. Excellent job. Nothing. There's just no grip. You know what? Clearly the Viper's still too much power. Let's go real slow. Let's go real low horsepower here. Let's find the lowest horsepower car that can run softs. Hey, guess what? My new Alcantara wheel's been delivered. I guess I can put that on stream. Alright, so let's see. 122 horsepower. Hards. I don't know if I trust that. Here we go. Here we go. Could try the street cars. I just don't know if they're going to get... Because I'm trying to bank on the fact that I can put the stickiest tire on the car with low horsepower, hoping that it can simulate some level of grip. Although I honestly just, I don't think common sense is going to fix this. I think this is just an issue with the game itself and its physics. All right. Jesus. Well, there's a little bit of grip there. Yeah, there's just nothing. That's a 330 horsepower slide. That is not too much horsepower for a soft slick. I don't know why this car misses second gear every time you hit it. Yeah, so if you notice, because this car doesn't make power, It goes from full grip, and it just understeers you off when you try and do that because you can't spin the tires, to once you pass that limit, right to ice. You're just stuck on ice. Let's try first gear with less mile an hour, see if that helps. Nothing. I just don't think it's going to be possible in this game anyway. That's what no horsepower looks like. So, considering ACC, which is a GT3 only game, so far, mind you, I haven't spent any time with AC, has been the hands down best drifting game, is mind-boggling to me. I can fully control, I should say fully, but by comparison to this, I could fully control a drift. This, there's no control. There's zero control. It's just like Gran Turismo. You go from full grip to zero grip once you pass the limit. And it's not that, so imagine grip is increasing, then once you get to peak grip and then you start spinning tire, grip starts going back down again. But in this, it goes from peak grip to off a cliff. There's no grip. And that's just not how it works in real life. It's kind of a bummer. And it's almost like they do that to, and that's always been my complaint with a lot of racing games, is that there's always this sensation of it making it harder in real life. And that where it becomes harder is not the turning, is not the braking, the predictability, that's all there. It's grip after full, maintaining some control of grip past full grip. No game I've experienced so far, mind you, I haven't played them all, has done anything to simulate that correctly. And I wish they would already. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my new wheels, so hold the phone. All right, I'm back. So, with that, what we got in the mail today was these for my rig, or wall, depending on where you want to put them. I already have it set up on my rig. I built a little frame last night. The amount of Allen keys you get through this stuff is wild. Locks. GT7 feels like you are spinning even when you're controlling the drift. I don't know how to explain it. No, I agree. There's an easier way to explain it. It feels bad. It feels very bad. Come on. 2 of them, because I got 2 wheels. And now what matters? Ugh. Ah. Alcantara. I know you all hate it, but I don't care. It just feels so much more premium than this like plasticky one. Such a bummer that it feels like that too. Is this the same center cap, I assume? Yeah, it looks it. Oh no, it's different. I don't know which one I like better. I'll have to compare for you guys, see which ones you like better. Well, it's a good thing I got 3 Allen keys that came with these things. Thank you, thank you. Of course, it's... There we go. I'm going to do this on the wheel. Actually, you know what? For the sake of not screwing anything up. Look at this. This is what I like too. No lockout. Only reason I'm even using this Allen key right now is for the sake of product authenticity. I would use real tools. But, you know, got to give you guys the full... put it on with real tools, so it's a little hard to get off with this little adorable Allen key. Can also barely see. I don't know which center cap I want to use. They give us... I have the circular one on this, and then they gave me this guy with the new wheel. There's so many easier ways I could be doing this. For your entertainment purposes, I am choosing to do this in the most not rational way possible. I could at least take it off the wheelbase. Nah. Nope. The only thing I want to replace are these. I don't like the plastic paddles. The entire mechanism is metal, but the actual part your fingers touch are plastic. I either want a nice carbon one or a metal one, or aluminum one, I should say. The plastic just feels... I don't like plastic. Last screw. All right. Very comparable weight. So my question to you is, I think I got to go with the metal one just because it's metal and it feels more premium. But we got the round one, which is plastic, and we got this whatever shape, triangular-ish shape, but it's metal. I think I'm going to go with this one because it feels that much nicer. So it looks like you put in these 3 screws first, then you put the cover on, then you put the other 3 screws on. Interesting. That being said, does anybody have a Simagic in chat? Because I know a guy with a round wheel for sale. I'll sell it for $50 plus shipping. Or maybe I'll do a new subscriber giveaway. I don't know, whatever the cool influencer-y things are to do these days. Give me some light there. Technically, you don't have to use a cover. But it's not like I'm going to be changing this thing, so it looks better with it. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it's funny how many people hate Alcantara. I had a 2012 Boss 302, and one of my favorite parts about it is it came with an Alcantara wheel. I know, peasantly, but I love Alcantara wheels. Tomorrow I'll order the 9 or 12mm Evo. Nice. You won't regret it. You can experiment with that centering spring on your own, but I think you'll end up right where I'm at. 0%. It feels the most real. And that's what I care most about. Simulating realism. Because I've never driven a car where the wheels naturally want to jerk back and forth and kill me. The car will naturally center itself, because that's just how steering racks work. But it feels... Best way I can say it, it's like it's if a car had an ECU programmed to over-center the wheel back and forth. Have to go. Enjoy your time. I appreciate you hanging out, sir. I'll be back on again in about 1 o'clock now. 9.5 hours. 10:30 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So 9.5 hours for you guys. All right. I gotta add more songs to my little repertoire here of music. All right. get these out of here before I drop those. Ah. Now I feel like I have a more expensive setup here. Nothing wrong with the other wheel, it's just, it's not Alcantara. And that will always make me feel like I have a nicer wheel than I do. Oh, with the gloves on and everything. Plush. Love it. Mission accomplished. Alright. Back to trying to be fast now. So I'm probably going to do one more race. Yeah, that is, let's see. Salute. Have it easy. Or have it easy. That too. Take it easy. That's what I'm looking forward to as well. I found myself playing BeamNG quite a lot lately. So I tried out BeamNG. That's a game I want to get into. That to me felt like an old school computer video game where it thrives through modding and doing whatever you want to do. So one day I will play around with that. Aiming for the realism. Realism is where it's at. Like, the whole point of the word simulation is to simulate the real thing. Alright, so let's get back in my Viper. I will say I think they nailed the Viper in this game. The new one, the 2005 GT Viper. You can tell when a car has new physics in it. Like, because they've been talking a lot about their physics engine and making it more accurate. You can tell that these cars are in one of the more newer updates because that slide physics isn't as bad. Let's do some racing on the Glen quick. Yeah, I mean, I try to use gloves no matter what when I'm try-harding anyway, because even on leather, my hands will sweat. Your hands sweat no matter what. They just sweat will damage the Alcantara faster over time. Download track modes. I'll have to look more into that. There's a lot. Oh my god, I gotta put the right one in. There's a lot of, there's so many things I want to do. But now with the streaming, I have the time to experiment. So once the stream starts to get a little more traction, I can kind of veer off the path of having like a plan and just kind of wing it a little bit, you know? But I'm really, really holding off until Project Motor Racing. I really want to see if that's a hit or a miss. If it's a miss... Oh, you know what? I don't want to do this way. If it's a miss, then I can experiment and swing outside the normal realm. BeamNG is this shit, I'm telling you. I believe you. I believe you. I definitely want to get into a game, too, that can take me wildly outside the world of realism and focus solely on crashing. Maybe I'll have a rotation of what I play on stream. Serious, die-hard racing, some iRacing, some Project Motor Racing, some crashing. Wreckfest. Wreckfest looks like it could go either way for me. Might be fun, might be terrible. I want all the traction, boys. Ah, looks like they cleaned my window. How nice. Oh shit, my base isn't on. I'm gonna have no control in a second. I don't know if I have control. All right, I do. All right, we got to restart that. I never turned it back on after putting the wheel on. Oh, and I never also showed you guys. That works out in both ways. All right, here we go. Why does this not feel right, though? That feels right now. Weird. Ah, I forgot to turn that back on. That's going to be a problem. Screw it, we're going to try it with no assists. This game doesn't work well with no assists, by the way. The wrong track, too. Damn it. It's a good thing this car handles good, because I would not be able to get traction like this in like the Sauber Mercedes or whatever, or a lot of the earlier game cars. Remember, we don't have stability or traction control at all in this, not even on authentic mode. So there's just nothing on right now. It's just raw car. And this car, I will say, it feels pretty good. I do believe I spoke too soon. Try this. Come on! Trying to do this right. Take last place. The wheel feels so good now. I actually, believe it or not, the leather wheel, as they call it, my complaint about it is, like I said, it was too hard. It was like there was too much plastic in it. I have more grip with this, with my gloves on, than I did that other wheel, by a lot. And Alcantara usually, until it gets sweaty, of course, usually slides under your hands pretty easy. This feels really good. I am very satisfied with my Alcantara purchase here. I know. So, any of you guys watching right now, what do you recommend for sim racing gloves? Because I have the Logitech ones that came free, I use those. I have real racing gloves, but I would never want to sim race in those, because they would get so disgusting. I know that Morad guy or whatever, he sells his, but I've never really seen any other reviews of them besides him, and he obviously has his own bias considering they're his gloves. Sorry, buddy. Didn't want to lose my line. Don't you do it. Oh, I thought the AI was going to be dumb and just try and turn in anyway, even though I was there. So I want to say the Viper, the 05 GT Viper, is probably my favorite car to drive from a pure racing and control standpoint in this game. It just feels good. It doesn't feel like it's plagued with a lot of the AMS slide physics shit that I don't really like. The Sauber Mercedes is my favorite car to drive in this game because it's like in control but out of control. However, you absolutely need to have full assists on to drive that car. Like this car, you can get away with no assists and there's a learning curve and you still might get hit with that occasional random oops, but for the most part, this car drives pretty solid as I drive off the track. That's why when I'm trying to like race, I usually pick this car. It just feels good, and it sounds great too. "16 seconds out of the lead, 4.5 laps left. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Oh no! Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, there's no way I'm catching the first place. I might be able to get second, though. I think tonight, if Lewis doesn't get on, my buddy, I'm gonna do some online racing. Experience that shit show. Missing gears. Yeah, we're not catching second either. Best we got of these three right here and get on the podium. What a move! What a move! Whoa! Nice recovery, buddy. Oh, what a finish. And not in a complimentary way. That's 2 times in this race that I jinxed myself. All right. That about does it. I got some stuff I got to take care of, so I'm bouncing off here a little early, but I will be back on at 10:30 tonight. Oh, all right, where are we at here? Delivered. Yes, I know. All right, so like I said, this wheel will likely get sold if anybody's interested. We'll see though. I might want to keep it as like a spare wheel for people to like jump on the sim, but I don't know if I'm gonna want to, you know, keep changing the wheel. I'm lazy like that. So anyway, close this down. Close you. Close you. And close you. All right, folks. That's going to wrap this one up for now. Like I said, I'll be back on here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I'm either going to do some racing with my buddy Lewis, or I don't know. We'll find out. Either way, I'll be back on at 10:30 tonight, folks. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I will see you tonight. Peace.